Yo.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, one.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We're back again. It's that time of the night where we have to deliver or in the morning. I hope it will be in the morning on your side, and I hope it will be the night for some. But look, this is Mzansi. We are back again with Thabo Baxter updates and what events are happening and what do we think, obviously. For those who are not subscribers, please subscribe and like our videos and share them as much as you can. And wherever you are, we are grateful for your presence, gracing us with your presence. Thank you for subscribing and choosing us to be one of the people that are going to be updating you about what is happening in our country as we live in. And even though you are not part of it right now, but maybe you are impacted, or maybe you just want to know what is happening in Africa. Yes. Thank you again. This is Mr. Anonymous for those who do not know me. And Emily, hit the ground and do what you do best.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us again for yet another update on the Thabo Baxter saga. We've been able over the long weekend. I personally needed to rest because I knew that this week, it's court case after court case after yeah, so we'll be needing to keep up on everything. I don't want to miss anything, but quickly, updates of what has happened over the past couple of days. It's a lot that's been happening. Number one, this video will be covering the 2 arrested suspects that have brought the suspects that have been arrested so far to 8. And then Thabo Baxter's second legal representative has also quit on him. Okay, they've quit on representing him. So that's quite interesting. And Minister Ronald Ramola has also served G4S with a letter to terminate their contract. Number 4, Dr Nandipha will be applying for bail and many other topics that will be covered right now. So first starting with the 2 suspects that were arrested with relation to the Thabo Baxter escape, the SAPS released a statement. Now, this was Bloemfontein, the 1st of May 2023. 2 former employees who were dismissed by G4S were arrested on Monday, the 1st of May 2023 at their places of residence in Bloemfontein. The pair is set to appear before the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court on Wednesday, the 3rd of May 2023. That is today, by the time you'll be watching the video. So hopefully you can catch up. And also on a charge of assisting an inmate to escape from lawful custody and defeating the ends of justice. So the team investigating this case have so far arrested 8 suspects and cannot rule out the possibility of affecting more arrests. So allegedly, there's a female and a male who were working in the control room at the time of Baxter's escape. That's what's being alleged, that the 2, but we'll see them properly today.
Very interesting, eh?
What are the big fish?
Oh, you won't find them. Forget about them.
Another interesting thing that also happened, you guys, over the weekend or the long weekend, Mam Kize had to come forward and refute claims over the weekend that she had visited Thabo Baxter in prison. She refuted the claims, even went as far as calling her what Mr. Anonymous usually calls him, not her, him on the show, Thabo Baxter. Thabo Baxter ngimazela aphi mina.
I mean, we are Zulus, man. Forgive us. You know, this thing of pronunciation is...
Some people were like, as soon as she said Thabo Baxter, you know, she has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, well, do you have, any background for these new characters that have been arrested? Nothing, or just people that were feeling a vacuum? Nothing is there on them?
It's the usual, the guards. My guards.
Ah, man.
My guards.
As you, I mean, this is boring.
G4S
if you are
is
going to
literally
arrest,
throwing them.
if you are going to arrest guards, arrest everyone who was there, who was present for that day, who was on duty to work.
All 26 of them.
Let's just solve this
Someone
problem.
will
like,
sing.
and then from there we can start moving to bigger fishes. That's what I'm trying to say. Stop arresting them one by one. Take the whole 26. Anyone who was there, just take them. We're not
Yes.
saying they are guilty, but just take them. Questioning them and doing all those things that you want to do, so that we can move on. We want to get more into sweeter story. But looking at how South Africa is, I mean, you're looking at the case of Senzo, it's a joke, man. I don't think we will ever meet or we'll ever get to see what we want to see. You don't always in South Africa get what you hope for. You don't know, you don't know, more so when it comes to law, because here in South Africa it's more like a Dubai
Or a show. Anything to get the public to come down. It's more like a show.
Like, I mean, we like some of the things you feel like they are used to actually create a noise so that you focus on them. We can see some of those things, and we hope that it's not one of those things, so that you keep on making that waves of noise. Because right now you look at the people that are getting arrested. I mean, you could have
And
just
it's
taken
a very
them
slow
off.
pace, eh? It's slower than I had anticipated when the news first broke out. I thought the first thing they'd do is arrest everyone who was on duty that night. Every single one. Just ask them what was happening that night.
It's difficult to check all these updates, and you find people who are playing with your
It's like two, next week one.
your data. They bring you anything. We have load shedding for some of us.
Hey.
I mean,
Stage
we
6.
know that we still have to deal with load shedding issues. I mean, this is the country where everything is going left, unemployment, everything. We have a lot to talk about, but we are looking at one thing that seeks to make us a country, one thing that validates us for whatever that you can think of is law. What do you even have law? Are we a country abiding by the laws of itself? Let me put it like that. In this case, it seems as if those who have mchankura, they would say money, they swim above the rest, and then we are the ones who will face the mighty law. This is what is happening with these guys. We want to see the big fishes. We want to see people who are serious about life, people who have certain intentions that were big, impacting the country. If they were impacting the country, this is of national interest already. So we want to know how exactly these things happen while we have people that are supposed to be looking and checking everything and protecting us.
To the T. Following procedure. Doing their jobs, you know. So yeah, Mam Kiza had to refute those claims. She even went as far as asking Karen Mon, because she's the one who brought it up in that other interview with Newsroom Africa, saying that there's a celebrity that they have information to that was visiting Thabo Bester, right? And then Mam Kiza had to come on to Karen, begging her to tell the country who that celebrity is, because she can't possibly be the only celebrity. And later on, other allegations came up that Sims Ngema was implicated as the celebrity that visited Thabo Bester, and she has not yet refuted the claims. She has not denied or accepted. She hasn't said anything. It's silence, crickets from her side. So,
do we have anything that we can say? It seems as if did she go on a spree at some point, maybe, or something?
Oh, what I heard on a TikTok video from a particular lady, I forgot to I don't remember her name, but she at the time was saying that after Sims Ngema's husband passed away, she
may his soul rest in peace.
He died in a car accident. It was very tragic. Not a car accident, a hijacking. So she bought a house and a car in the same year. Kind of similar to what happened with Dr. Magudumana, buying 3 cars all at once in the same year. So Sims Ngema had bought a new home. And when people were asking her at the time, according to this lady on TikTok, it's not me, guys. So she was saying people were asking, they were kind of curious that did the policies pay out? And she said that they had no policies. They had only been married for 2 months with her husband. So there's a question mark there. But right now, it's an allegation. We will wait and see. As we know,
but
time
where
will
does
tell.
policies and 2 months enter here? Because I'm trying to look. I mean, I can date a woman and I can have policies. When they pay out, they will obviously pay to the rightful people, which is at the time my wife.
But that's what she was telling people at the time. It was 2019, 2018, around that time apparently.
You see, I don't normally buy these stories of work hard. You know, people who really work hard, and I'm sorry to say this, most people who really work hard, they never flaunt. They don't have time to do that because most probably their bodies are aching and they are tired after working hard. They don't have time for that. And then you get these slave queens of ours who buy cars like willy-nilly and then come show us the keys and whatnot.
They have to post.
I'm not saying that Sims is slave queen. I don't know. I don't know about slave queens.
But she's in the same category because she didn't have to tell people that she bought a new house and a new car. But she posted it.
Well, it's according to us, right?
Yes, in our opinion.
It's an opinion. We don't know any definition of a slave queen, but we know that it's someone who's yellow bone, who's making money.
Latest
and
clothes,
when we ask them how they're making money, they like,
I work hard.
The
grace of God.
The grace of God. And they have a lot of Instagram followers and all that. That's a definition. Nothing sinister about being a slave queen, to say the least. And I'm trying to play it down, by the way.
And then there's some guy who said that on Twitter, he said that Sims Ngema was trying to make him renovate the kitchen for her mother for likes. So he wasn't trying to pay this guy. He wanted this guy to work for exposure, for likes.
Oh,
installing a kitchen worth 200,000. I laughed. I was like, what? In this economy.
I think we have done a lot of financial diagnosis. What else did happen? What else you have there?
Okay, so at this rate, it seems like everyone is guilty of visiting Thabo Bester until otherwise.
Why would you? If indeed, if she visited Thabo Bester, why Begista? Why would you visit Begista?
There's also another name that popped up by Thomas Gumete, but it is alleged that it's not the Thomas Gumete who's acting on TV. It's another Thomas Gumete. Apparently now this Thomas Gumete was a regular visitor of Thabo Bester.
Okay.
Yeah. So Thabo Bester's latest advocate, Tsuenyani Jeremiah Pila, has withdrawn from the case moments after News 24 asked him about the tender fraud and corruption trials he is facing.
This is alleged.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Griselda Lewis, reporter for SABC, posted on Twitter that Thabo Bester had not covered all his legal expenses since Thabo Bester's case was remanded for the 16th of May 2023. Thus, it appears that he will need to hire a new legal team to represent him. So Bester's attorneys reportedly resigned, and it is anticipated that the second team will do the same. So Bester's advocate withdrew because of funding after being asked about his own criminal trials, allegedly.
And it might be that actually it is finances. Because you see what he's gonna probably have a lot of problems with finances. Even if there were funders, they're not going to be able to fund right now. It's still too hot to do any funding. Even if he had other ways of making money, they probably have paused right now. So we are expecting, if you work for him, then you should be, it should be you going there and then allowing yourself to be played or even talked to in a right way that you are convinced. Because I mean, we know that you give him a couple of minutes. It is alleged that you give him a couple of minutes to convince you it is easy to actually sell you an idea. Well, who wouldn't take it if it's Baxter, capable of living nice life in jail?
Well, the advocate who had stepped up to represent Besta, Tsuenyani Jeremiah Pila, has withdrawn from the case after being asked by News 24 about the charges against him. So Thabo Besta's former instructing attorney Chirele Zondo told Clement Manyatela of Talk 702 that Besta called him from his cell yesterday. Yesterday meaning, I think it was Friday. He said that their relationship...
Baxter is calling?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what he said. He said that their relationship collapsed. So we'll take it that there are phones in the prison. Not cell phones, but those phones that are like for everybody.
He's already calling. Okay.
Calling his lawyer, yes.
Yeah.
And he said their relationship collapsed. Funding is the number one issue. That's why they withdrew as his lawyers. Some issues he couldn't divulge into. So Clement asked Ndo if the advocate they hired to represent Besta in the court is the same Jeremiah Pila who is due to go on trial in June for alleged corruption involving a security tender bribery. Ndo said that he could not comment on that and asked to confine their interview to the Thabo Besta issue.
Okay.
And so that is the charge.
If that was the case, I would
alleged.
actually drop also to prepare for my own.
It's hectic, right?
Or else I could be joining you. I could be representing you.
It's hectic.
It's alleged. We hope that is not true.
Yeah, it's hectic. Apparently, he will be appearing in June. So it's a
allegedly.
Lot. Allegedly. So Minister Ronald Lamula confirmed also that the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, has served G4S this morning, 2nd of May, with a 90-day notice to terminate their 450 million per month contract at Mangaung Maximum Security Prison. I think it's 44 million. 44 million.
What will warrant these people to cancel or terminate? That's not termination.
A 90-day notice.
That's like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. We're giving you time to correct what you've done, sort of.
And that is closer.
Because they can still come back, G4S.
No, that is closer to a year, actually. Because if you think about it, it's May. Does it include May? We don't know. Maybe from June, July, August. And then they would just need to come back with lawyers and fight for these 2 months, and then 2020. When is it due for
2026?
Okay, they can still fight it and get.
And they're giving them a chance actually to fight it, because I wasn't expecting the 90-day notice.
They should have just taken the law by the scruff and just cancel this thing and say you are not allowed to work here. If you make any more of this coming to our laws and making them a joke, we will kick you out of our country.
The Department of Correctional Services on Tuesday morning served the Mangaung Correctional Services Pty Ltd, which runs the private Mangaung Correction Center, with a notice to terminate the contract. Now, it is said that the notice to terminate follows a legal opinion that DCS had sought. It had been deemed that BCC is not suitable to continue with the contract. Justice Minister Ronald Lamula informed the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services that in line with the concession contract agreement, a termination notice for a period of 90 days had been served to BCC, and thereafter the contract will cease to operate. So DCS has already resumed an internal exercise for the takeover process. So it looks like DCS will be the one taking over. it had been mentioned that in 2013, the same similar thing happened. So I don't know.
Isn't that the DCS affiliated with G4S?
Because the same thing happened in 2013. DCS came in, took over, and then they gave the contract back to G4S after there were complaints that were coming out. This is not the first time that they are having this type of troubles with G4S. It has happened before, allegedly in 2013. So now it seems like it's a similar approach that they're taking, because termination, I was expecting it to be immediately, you know. So the DCS spokesperson Singabakho Nxumalo said the notice of termination follows the announcement on April 20th, 2023 by the department. It had referred its contract with BCC for a legal opinion. So it had been deemed that BCC is neither competent nor suitable to continue with the concession contract. And BCC is contracted to operate the Mangaung Correctional Center, a public-private partnership facility. So DCS will immediately resume with an internal exercise for the takeover process, and the contract does lay down a procedure to be followed in this regard. That's what Nxumalo said. And Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola briefed the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Correctional Services in Parliament on the decision to terminate the contract between DCS and BCC. Lamola said the department continues to be in the news following Bester's escape. He said the South African police continues to make several arrests over this matter. He also revealed that in 2021-2022 financial year, they had 22 escapes from a total inmate population of 143,223. So he said they are the first to acknowledge that one escape at their facility is one too many, and they will redouble their security operations to prevent escapes. Yes.
The same BCS that they are bringing.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking about G4S.
We're talking about G4S.
G4S.
Yes.
Is the one that has problem.
Yes.
And we are talking about it as you are please explaining about the escapes.
Yes.
Okay.
So there had been 22 escapes in the 2021-2022 financial year. That's a lot of escapes.
And it took one noisy story to actually...
That's a lot. Now that is a lot. It's too much in one financial year. He said that they will redouble the security operations to prevent escapes and deal harshly with officials who fail to adhere to the standard operating procedures, as this national commissioner acted yesterday in the Umtata management area, where there was an escape of 2 inmates. Umtata, did you hear about that?
I heard.
And one of them has been recaptured. So there were 2, and they were SA, or those who were convicted. These 2 escapees from Tata prison were there for forcing themselves on women.
Oh, so the pattern seemingly it's worrisome that these things are happening. It's like I understand the importance of emphasizing on this issue, more so if you are doing this to our women. But what else can make more noise than that? You know, like, that's my question. But I'm not saying it's okay. We will say we are happy that the person one was captured. What about the other one? I mean, it's worrying.
Well, 8 officials who were on duty on the date of the escape and did not adhere to the standard operating procedures have been suspended. That's what Lamola said regarding the Umtata escapees. So the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union POP Crew National spokesperson Richard Mamabolo said the union welcomes the news. It has been long overdue that they have been urging the DCS to terminate since conditions and reports of human rights abuse have been noted, Mama Bulo said, and there has been no comment yet from G4S.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm looking at the technology partner for this BCS. It's OpenServer, Metro Fiber, and all these other companies. Very interesting doc tech solution and whatnot. It's I guess it's look, why can't in the meantime, because we're talking about the situation that escalated in the private hands, and these are private companies. And why can't government take over and stabilize the situation until such time they decide whether they want to give it back or what? Why do we move from one to another?
Why? And I want to know who owns this BCS, because G4S, we don't even know who owns that. Who are the shareholders there? We don't know. So now we want to know this BCS, who's coming with it, who are the people who will be benefiting.
Hey, once you talk about benefit, you must just hold it there, continue there.
Well, another update regarding Katlego Bereng. Now, it is said that he will be buried this weekend, according to Free State Health MEC Thabo Leeto. Bereng's family has yet to get answers on how their son's body ended up in Bester Cell. And Leeto visited the grieving family in Bloemfontein last week and confirmed that he would be buried on the 7th of May. Leeto said that they were received well by the family, and the reason for their visit is that they wanted to pay homage, say their pain is their pain, and also express their disappointment and their concerns about what has happened to their facility, because the body of the deceased was stolen at their facility in Bloemfontein. She said they informed the family that her department was investigating to verify whether all the necessary procedures for releasing the body were followed. Leeto also said that the family is not doing well, but she thinks the social development department, together with their own social workers, will be visiting to give them support during their bereavement, because as human beings, no one can take it easy when their loved ones have been missing for such a long time, and when they are discovered, they are found in a state like Katlego's, and they have many questions that are not yet answered. Now, she said that she believes that police are conducting investigations, and it is their wish that everyone who has information will cooperate with police so that the truth can come out. Now, Leeto said also that her department had already started an internal investigation into where the ambulance went to fetch a Bereng Mpolo's body. So she said it is alleged that his body was collected by their own ambulance to the hospital, and from there the body was stolen, allegedly by Makutumana, she said. Now, the question that I have is, why did it take a criminal charge to be laid against the Department of Health for the MEC of Health to finally show up and give support to Katlego Bereng's family?
Look, it's like a slap in the hand, like, like they are doing it themselves, like you doing something wrong and then rectifying it, as you would call it, by doing those small things.
It's almost like
it's small things that do not matter in at this point in time. What would be very interesting, though, is to know what actions are being taken about these whole situations.
Yeah.
What actions are we taking? Are we moving forward in trying to clean this situation and avoid it from happening
Again.
as much as you are helping out? Because I don't, this is the time
There's
where
no amount of speech that can fix this, literally, in short words.
Yeah,
like, there's no amount of a speech
because someone is gone.
that
People
can fix
are
this
gone.
mess.
And you can't, and we're talking about one person right now.
Yes.
There are others, right?
Yes. There are alleged others whose bodies are being currently looked for.
Now that's that now you can think, you can look and tell what is it that you think. I mean, is this gonna solve the situation? No, it's not. Is this gonna bring back the person? No, it's not.
No.
Are they going to feed the kids that this man was responsible
Has
for
left behind.
forever? No, they are not.
That is more in the line that we expected to hear. We expected to hear such. We were not expecting for you to give a speech of stuff we already know. That's annoying.
There you go.
And considering the fact that they had to put a criminal charge for you to show up. So if they didn't lay that criminal charge, were you ever going to show up? Because we saw the state that Katlego's mother was in. She needed emotional, psychological support for trauma. Nobody was there. But anyway, moving on, Dr. Nandipha Magudumana and the three co-accused in the case of the escape of convicted Thabo Bester will be applying for bail in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. They are facing, among other charges, murder, aiding the escape of a prisoner, and defeating the ends of justice. The state has previously opposed bail for the medical doctor and two other men accused of aiding Bester in his escape from the maximum secure Mangaung Correctional Center.
Okay.
Magudumana's 65-year-old father, Zolile Nkosinathi Sekeleni, who was released on 10,000 rands bail after the state said it was not opposing bail due to his chronic illness. Sinohe Matswara, a former G4S employer, and Tebogo Dipolo, a contracted camera installer at the Mangaung prison, are the other two accused. Meanwhile, two former employees who were dismissed by G4S have also been arrested, and that is what I updated you on earlier. And they will appear at court tomorrow, or today rather, by the time that you look at this video. So it's quite interesting that now it seems like a window of opportunity for Dr. Magudumana to also get bail. It's kind of like opening up.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Is it because she was working with the police?
Why would you give a person who
Is a flight risk.
who's a flight risk that thing? Why?
But we'll see. We'll see today what happens.
Even
in
to
court.
think of that chance, man, that means that they are gaining confidence.
I'm worried. I'm worried that
Next
they may
thing
actually
they're going to
give
be
her
practicing, back practicing.
bail. I feel like they're going to give her this bail. Like, I'm very worried and concerned about that. But we will see when the court proceedings happen today. So that's it. That's a quick
Nothing
update.
surprises me about this country anymore. Like, nothing surprises me. Like, honestly, more so about this law. Man, this law is just, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's time we call it what it is. Useless.
It's for the rich.
I'm done with it, man.
Must
You know,
have
I'm
money in your
defeated.
pockets.
Yeah. Well, tell us what you think. Tell us where maybe you think this whole Baxter thing and the gaining of confidence of some of these people who were ashamed, who were ashamed of even showing their faces. Now they are willing to even take a bail and go out. Are we at that state now of where we just let it be because we are there now? We are going there seemingly, and this is how things turn out or pan out, and so we close these things and forget. Eventually there will be a next Baxter or next scandal similar or bigger to what Baxter is. Then we will reopen the conversation and talk again. Is this how we're going to have to live
From now on. Hi, kunzima. If there's anything I'm noticing, this law is not what it seems.
They call it mighty law. It's mighty
It's not what it
indeed.
seems.
I end here because I don't want to say no more.
Yeah, let us not stretch it too far.
It's a bye for me.
Bye. We'll see what happens in court today. Bye.